Okay, participants, now there's another session. Now I want to discuss about what are the assumptions or mandatory conditions related with the two-way ANOVA. Okay, I may share my SPSS screen to you. Share. The first mandatory condition or assumption, your dependent variable should be a continuous variable. That means you should measure the dependent variable with the help of either ratio scale or the interval scale. In SPSS, there is only one word that is known as scale. That is the first condition. Second condition, in the case of two-way ANOVA, now our discussion about what are the assumptions about two-way ANOVA. Two-way ANOVA, that means N-way ANOVA. Uh, in two-way ANOVA, another name N-way ANOVA. Two-way ANOVA, three-way ANOVA, four-way ANOVA, all are known as N-way ANOVA. In case of two-way ANOVA, there should be two independent variables, and each independent variable should consist of two or more groups. In the case of one-way ANOVA, there should be only one independent variable, and that independent variable should have at least three options. Likewise, in the case of two-way ANOVA, there should be two, not one, two independent variable, and each independent variable has at least three categories. Okay, that is the second mandatory assumption related with the two ANOVA. Then third, you should have independence of observations. You should have independence of observations. That means no relationship between the observations in each group or between the group themselves. That is the third condition. Then next condition, no significant outliers. That is second condition. No sorry, it is the fourth condition, not second condition. It is the fourth condition. No significant outliers. How can you check that condition? No significant outliers. Wait, this is my SPS screen. As you can see the screen, first variable, that is the dependent variable, that is industry politics. Second variable, that variable has three alternative: gender, independent variable. Then another variable you can see, I think the variable name is the educational, wait, education level. That is the third variable. That is another education level. That is the another independent variable. Here you can see two independent variable and one dependent variable. Okay, how can we check the significant outlier condition? Please wait. Analyze, then descriptive statistics, then explore. Please transfer the dependent variable into the dependent list and the independent variable into the independent list. Independent list, independent variable, another name factor. Please transfer the independent variables into the factor list. Here you can see it. Okay. Then fifth condition, we may check fourth condition and fifth condition simultaneously. Okay, fifth condition, dependent variable should be approximately, the word is, please not the word, approximately, dependent variable should be approximately normally distributed for each combination of the groups of the two independent variable. I may read again. Dependent variable should be approximately normally distributed for each combination of the groups of the two independent variable. That is the fifth condition. Then we can check fourth and fifth condition. Here, first, please transfer the dependent variable into the dependent list and the independent variable into the independent list. Then please click on plots, then box plot for significant outlier, then descriptive stem and leaf for significant outlier, normality plot with the test for normality assumption, continue, both, okay. Then we'll get the result. I may show the result to you. Please wait. Stop share. Share. This is a result screen. Here you can see the result screen. Wait. Okay. Then wait. First you can see. Okay. First you can see the education level related test normality. Education level related two independent variable. Your dependent variable should be approximately normally distributed for each combination of the groups of the two independent variables. First, educational independent variable, you can see the normality result. Please see the Shapiro-Wilk test SIG value, that is known as p-value. If p-value is greater than 0.05, the normality assumption is met, otherwise not. Here, in case of school, education level 3 alternative, school, college, university. In case of school and university, the normality assumption is met, p-value is greater than 0.05. But in case of college level, the normality assumption is not met. That means in total, the fifth condition is not satisfied. Then now we can see another independent variable. Wait. Another independent variable. Wait. Wait. Okay, you can see another independent variable, that is gender. Please see the Shapiro-Wilk test. Yes, in case of male, p-value is greater than 0.05. But in case of third gender, p-value is not greater than 0.05. In case of female also, p-value is not greater than 0.05. That means the fifth condition, in total, in conclusion, fifth condition, normality condition is not satisfied. Then, as far as significant outliers is concerned, please see the box plot test. Please see the graph. As far as education level, that is the independent variable, that variable is concerned, you can see an asterisk. If there is any small circle or asterisk, that indicate there is a significant outlier. Then that condition is not satisfied. That means here, in case the fourth condition is not satisfied, there is a significant outlier in case of education level, that is independent variable. In this another independent variable, that is gender. In gender case also, I think there is a significant outlier. Yes, wait, box plot graph, wait. Wait, okay, this is a box plot graph. Here you can see, yes, you can see an asterisk, that means that indicates there is a significant outlier, that condition is not satisfied. Then fourth and fifth condition, significant outlier condition and normality condition cannot be satisfied, is not satisfied. Okay. Then last condition, that is the condition related with the homogeneity variance. I may share the SPSS screen to you. Last condition, homogeneity variances into ANOVA. There need to be homogeneity variances for each combination of the groups of the two independent variable. That is the homogeneity variance condition. How can we check? Analyze general linear model univariate. Okay. Independent variable list, dependent variable. Factor list, independent variable. Then check homogeneity variance condition. Then click options. Then here you can see the homogeneity test. Homogeneity test, there, tick on it. Then continue. Then okay. Then we will get the result. I may show the result to you. Stop share. Yes, here you can see homogeneity variances. That is known as the Levens test. It is a famous test related with the homogeneity variances. This is the output screen. In Levens test table, you can see the p-value, that is SHG value. that is 0.04. What is the interpretation? If p-value is greater than 0.05, p-value is greater than 0.05, the assumption met. Otherwise, assumption not met. That is the condition. Okay, if p-value is greater than 0.05, assumption not violated. That means assumption met. Here, p-value is less than 0.05. That means assumption violated. There is no homogeneity variances. That condition is not satisfied in the case of two ANOVA. In abstract, as far as two ANOVA is concerned, there are 6 mandatory conditions of assumptions. Okay, thank you. Stop share.